Miss Danreael here, and I have a word for you. Let love permeate your heart. Yes, love is so important for our hearts at this time in life. So look, the verse for this video is 1 Corinthians 13:13, and it reads, "And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love." Another translation reads, "So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love." So look, God wants love to be the biggest thing in our life. He wants us to walk in the spirit of love. He wants us to handle other people with love. The title of this video is Let Love Permeate Your Heart. I want to tell you the definition of the word permeate. Permeate means to spread throughout, to pervade. It can mean to pass into, through every part. So a lot of us, we are in places where we're jaded. We've been hurt by other people, and we've let it like fester in our heart. The offense may have been done long ago, but you've been carrying it with you, and so now you're bitter. Now you may be angry. God wants you to let love come into that place of bitterness that you're holding and harboring in your heart. He wants you to let go of whatever it is that hurt you. Something may have happened that was unfortunate, that wasn't nobody's fault, just life did it. God wants you to forgive. He wants you to understand that just because something happened to you, just because a misfortune happened to you, doesn't mean it was supposed to last your whole life. It just may have been for that time. Everything happens for a reason. We don't always know what the reason is, or why God did things the way he did, or why this happened or why that happened, but you just have to have peace with things. You have to accept things. You have to accept people the way they are. If you know a person is malicious and calculated and demonic and evil, you just have to accept that. You can't try to change them. You can't be mad at them. You have to handle them with love. This verse says that above everything, God wants you to love. He says faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So if you can imagine, faith is a big thing. God wants us to have faith in the Most High God. He wants us to believe in Jesus Christ. He wants us to have hope. He wants us to always be hoping every day for great things, and he wants us to believe and hope in him. And also it says love. God wants us to love. He says the greatest of these things is love. In the Bible, God tells us to love our neighbor. God tells us to love him. Love is so important. I want to give you the definition of love. Of course, this definition of love is from 2024. I was reading an encyclopedia that my mother found at the thrift store, and the encyclopedia was so old. If I can find the name of it, I'll tell you guys about it in another video. But the definitions that were in there, they were so much more cultivated. Like, they were so much deeper. Like, it had the word love in there, and the definition from the encyclopedia from back then versus now, the definition is different. So the way that definitions are today, they're different than what they were 30-40 years ago. And that's so crazy to me, because words should always have the same definition. So that tells you something about this world. They try to make things seem something else. But the definition in there, I loved it so much more, because it was so much more deep and so much more true to what the word means. Let's read what love means on Google today in 2024. It says, love, an intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something. Yeah, it just has a feel of deep affection. Like, no, the definition I seen, it was so much more deeper. But again, so love means to have an intense feeling or deep affection. So God wants us to love. He wants us to love others. Love is one of the fruits of the spirit. He wants us to be walking in the fruits of the spirit. I want you to let love permeate your heart this year. I want you to love people that you think you hate so bad. People that you holding grudges against. People that have wronged you. People that are against you. I want you to love them. I want you to pray for them. I want you to say a prayer for them as if you were saying a prayer for your favorite grandmother or your mother or your favorite auntie or your son or your daughter. I want you to pray for them the same way you pray for them. This is a challenge. I want you to think of things that you love about them. Mind you, you do not like this person at all. This person may not like you. But I want you to find something that you really like about them and be honest about it. Be like, you know what? This person is X, Y, and Z, but I really love this about them. You know, I think that they have potential in this area. You know, like, be honest about it. And I want you to try to, you know, love this person that may have hurt you or wronged you or abused you or mistreated you or whatever. So, permeate. It says infiltrate, infuse. Let's look up some synonyms for the word permeate. I love to look up synonyms for words because sometimes we can get a better sense of what it means. It says saturate, seep, steep, pierce, fill, transfuse, stalk, go through, interfuse. Yeah, so all of these words are synonyms for it. So yeah, that is so important because God wants us to love. He doesn't want us to be walking around hurt or hurting other people. Because have you ever heard of the saying, hurt people hurt people? Yes, they do. And that's why it's so important to always be in a place of healing and growing and overcoming and examining yourself and seeing, what areas do I need to work on? What issues do I have? Do I have daddy issues? Do I have mommy issues? Do I have trust issues? Am I insecure? Do I have insecurities? God wants you to overcome these things. He wants you to stop beating around the bush. He wants you to be cool as a cucumber. He wants you to understand that you dodged a bullet. He wants you to understand that you made varsity. He wants you to commit to him. He wants you to understand that you're qualified. God wants you to check your resume. God wants you to inquire him. God wants you to loosen up. God wants you to know that the righteous will not be shaken. Yes, God wants you to know all of these things and know that all things work together for the good to those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. The Lord loves you. He put you here for a reason, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I want you to remember, let love permeate your heart this year. Love everybody. Love your life. Love who you are. Love what you look like. Love your past. Love your future. Love the present. Just walk in the spirit of love. Love is so important. I love love. What about you? So look, I love you. I pray that this video blessed you. God bless you. And I will see you very, very soon. Love you.